It's 3 a.m., and the city skyline is completely blacked out. Suddenly, radar screens light up with hundreds of signals. A swarm of kamikaze drones descends from the clouds, targeting the nation's critical civilian infrastructure. The most common weapon in these swarms is the shahed drone. It's rudimentary, mass-produced, and costs only about $50,000 to manufacture and deploy. To stop this threat, a defending army follows standard air defense protocols, launching an advanced traditional interceptor missile. This animated diagram highlights the core problem. On one side of the scale, there's a single interceptor missile costing between $1 and $2 million. On the other side, 40 shahed drones equal that exact same cost. Shooting down the drones saves the target, ensuring a tactical victory. But if the attacker launches thousands of these low-cost machines, the defending nation will run out of missiles and exhaust its defense budget long before the enemy runs out of drones. This exact mathematical trap is happening right now in the Red Sea. The European Union's Operation Aspides deployed massive warships to protect commercial vessels from Houthi attacks. They successfully shot down the drones, but had to use multi-million-dollar interceptors to do it. The United States Armed Forces are facing the same strain. By early 2026, United States forces had consumed 40% of their entire surface-to-air missile stockpile in just a few weeks of combat. The scale of these attacks is also growing. In March 2026, Russia launched 948 kamikaze drones at Ukraine in a single coordinated strike. This dual-axis line chart maps the trajectory of these saturation attacks against standard defense spending. The volume of cheap drones increases exponentially, forcing national defense budgets on the opposite axis to rapidly approach zero. Relying solely on expensive high-altitude interceptors no longer works. The math simply doesn't add up, leaving even the world's most powerful militaries vulnerable to low-cost attrition. Traditional defense procurement is slow, often taking years to approve new systems. Tech executives recognize this delay and bypass government bureaucracy to inject capital directly into war zones. This new financial model can be seen clearly here. Investment lines extend from companies in Tokyo, Japan, and drone manufacturers in Osijek, Croatia, converging on the city of Kharkiv, Ukraine. The research labs receiving this funding are not sleek corporate campuses. They are decentralized workshops, often underground, like this improvised factory with stacks of drone wings, operating under constant bombardment. This bar chart shows the result. The Terra 1 interceptor, costing $1,000, is a fraction of the size and cost of the shahed. Beyond price, the table shows the Terra 1 reaching speeds of 300 kilometers per hour and emitting almost zero heat, avoiding thermal detection. By using a $1,000 interceptor against a $50,000 threat, the economic symmetry flips. For the first time in modern warfare, the cost of defense becomes significantly lower than the cost of attack. These low-cost interceptors are not designed to shoot down supersonic cruise missiles or fighter jets. Instead, they form a low-altitude defense network specialized in intercepting large-scale drone swarms. To reinforce this lower airspace, militaries integrate short-range mobile platforms, such as the British Rapid Ranger system. This three-tube Ranger fires Martlet missiles. Unlike weapons that rely on global positioning system or infrared guidance, the Martlet follows a direct laser beam to its target. This makes the missile completely immune to modern electronic jamming. Operational strategy becomes a strict division of roles. Cheap drones and laser-guided missiles clear the skies of swarms, while multi-million-dollar Patriot batteries conserve their firepower, reserving it for high-value ballistic missiles. A single premium air defense platform can be depleted very quickly. Protecting airspace now requires layered networks of mobile and affordable systems to absorb the sheer volume of modern threats. The current bottleneck in this system is the human operator. To solve this, engineering teams are developing the next phase of the technology, completely removing the human pilot from the process. The new workflow relies entirely on artificial intelligence. A ground-based radar detects an incoming signature. The interceptor launches autonomously, locates the target midair, and destroys it without any human pressing a button. Automation is a mathematical necessity. When an enemy launches hundreds of nighttime threats simultaneously, defense systems cannot coordinate enough human operators for every target. A machine doesn't sleep and doesn't get tired. Using tireless autonomous swarms is the only viable way to counter the massive volume of mass-produced kamikaze saturation attacks. Foreign executives investing in Ukraine's underground workshops are not doing it out of charity. Countries like Japan and Croatia are funding this development to bring battle-tested technology back to their own borders. Japan is already using these same low-cost interceptors in its new coastal defense projects, creating an autonomous architecture to protect its Pacific islands. This chart illustrates the global spread of this technology. As systems expand into the Pacific, Croatian companies manufacture the same interceptors to reinforce the eastern flank of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. We are witnessing a permanent shift away from the legacy defense model. Decades of reliance on slow-built, extremely expensive, and highly complex military platforms are coming to an end. Future global security will no longer be determined by which nation can build the most expensive interceptor missile. It will be dictated by who can mass-produce lethal autonomous intelligence at the lowest possible cost.
Nelle sole sul gossip che può